Hello again, LHCS Chess Club. In today's video, we're going to see how the pawn moves. The pawn is our most basic piece, but it also can be very strong because there are so many of them. Remember, you have 8 pawns on your board, and they all line up to start the game along the 2 row, like this. So once we set them all up, we can have a look about how the pawns move and work. So the pawns have different kind of abilities, and it's a little bit confusing, but once you get a hang of it, it's really easy. So to begin, the pawn's movement, so the way it can move, is in 2 ways. It can move one forward, one forward like that from where it first began, like that. Or second thing, if its first move, it has the option to do 2, or it has the option to do 1. So on its first move, say your h2 pawn wants to move up to h4, he can do that. And then after that, he's back to his only 1 movement. So then next move, he can go to h5 and then h6, but he can no longer jump 2 like he did at the beginning. The only time he can jump 2 is his very first move. That being said, he can't jump over anyone. So if my black pawn is here and it's his first move, he can't just jump in and take this guy. He has to stop in front. Or let's say that this black knight is here. This pawn, my h2 pawn, he's stuck. He can't move because someone is in his way. So that brings us to how the pawn attacks. So the pawn is pretty neat because it attacks diagonally. So it attacks this way and this way. So if I have a black piece right here, and it is the white team's turn, the pawn can move diagonally and capture the black pawn, taking it out of the game. So that means that anytime something is diagonal to a white pawn, it can capture a piece. So some kind of movement that you might see for pawns is, say, your first move, you might say pawn to e4, and then maybe he'll go pawn to e5, and then maybe he might come in contact with a black pawn and he will capture like that. All right, last thing about pawns is they have a special ability. They can be rewarded for their hard work if they can make it all the way to the enemy's final side. So that means if he's battling really hard, he's killing some pawns, let's say, and he's continuing to go on, and then he continues and kills, or captures rather, a knight, and then he's almost to the end, and let's say he gets all the way to the enemy's other side. We reward this pawn for his hard work, and we can upgrade him to any piece that we want to have. So let's say in that case scenario, we really would use an extra queen. This pawn would immediately become a white queen. So they are very special as they can actually transform into other pieces. And that is the end of the pawn video.